Okay everybody, welcome to J&S Farms, and today I'm working up the apples that you guys seen my kiddos pick. Thought I'd take you along for the process of making some apple sauce today, and I've already started, but I thought I'd get the camera out and kind of take you along. This is a bowl with lemon juice and water. And that's what I put them in until I get them to the stage where I cook them down so they don't turn brown on me and become kind of unsightly. So anyway, I like using a mixture of the two apples that we have here. These are the Granny Smiths, and don't know what these are, but Dad thinks they are Jonathan. So if you guys kind of know what that might be, it's kind of green and red. So maybe if you guys kind of know what that is, if somebody's more knowledgeable about apples than I am. All I know is they're really sweet and they're really crisp and they're really good. So, and these apples are really nice this year. I mean, look at that sucker. There's quite a bit of size there. So anyway, yeah. So I just have my handy dandy cheap apple peeler corer slicer, and I run it through there to get most of the peeling off, and then any bruises or anything I cut out with my knife. I do have the corer slicer part unhooked because I just don't need that on there. If I was going to be dehydrating some of these today, then I would put the corer slicer on there, and then I cut. Say this was, you know, just rings, I would cut one side and then I could separate it into discs and put them on my dehydrator so they're all the same size and they dehydrate more evenly that way. Okay, this is a bigger apple, so I gotta shove them back in. So I just run them through here. I'm only gonna do a couple here for you because they're all pretty well the same. So you just, it's going to be a tough one, plus I've only got too much room because of the tripod's there, so I don't want to knock it over. But anyway, I just run her through real quick, pull it off. I'll do another one real quick here. And my kids love applesauce. I don't know why it does that sometimes. This thing's been through a million apples, so it's probably not the sharpest thing anymore, and I broke the little handle off of it and everything else. You'll want a slop bucket too, and mine's down here on the floor. But anyhow, okay, now, alright, and what I do is I'll just kind of cut a little bit of the ends off here, and then go through and see there's a brown spot, so I just kind of slice him off a little. There's a little bit of the peel that got left on. It doesn't matter if you leave some of the peel on, it's not that big a deal. It'll come out in the little food processor that I have. And then I just cut the center out and plop it in the water, or lemon juice water, excuse me. And if you've never had homemade applesauce, it's exceptionally good. So, definitely worth the time and effort. My daughter Cassidy can sit there and eat a whole jar by herself if I let her, which I usually don't let her eat a whole jar because that'll make her sick. But anyway, now see those I'm going to want to cut into another slice because that'll take forever to cook those down. So I can send them through the food mill and make the actual sauce. Okay. Alright. And then I just throw all that in my slop bucket. Okay. Now, I've got my apples over here in the pot already boiling, so I'm going to go ahead and take you over there. See in there, I got my slop bucket right down there. Don't you like my tripod? Isn't that cool? Resourceful, I guess. Okay. Now, these guys are good and they're boiling good. Now, you want to get these to they're good and soft. Almost like you're going to make mashed potatoes with them. Because they'll run through your food processor much nicer. And make some creamier applesauce for you. These guys aren't near done, but I thought I'd show you kind of bring them up to a boil. And then I will get the fork out and stab them here in a few minutes for you. But I will bring you back whenever that's ready. So, I'll see you here in a minute. Okay, so these have kind of cooked down a little bit. Some of them are not ready, some of them are. This is kind of the consistency you want it. When you stab it, it falls apart. So that one got sliced a little bit thinner than the rest. Actually, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, see, it's almost like mush. And you want most of them to be that way, or when you stab them, they kind of fall apart a little bit, or they're flimsy, even. So, see, that guy is just about ready. He's still a little bit firm, but anyway, so that's what you kind of want them to look like. And I will bring you back whenever they're all ready. Okay, so I'm going to go get my apples now. They're ready to go. And if you hear a random chicken in the background, I have my windows open today because it's really nice out. So don't think I have chickens in my house. Alright. Okay, good. Didn't fog up the screen. Okay. Now, for some reason that doesn't drain properly. I'm not sure why. Alright. I have my food mill ready to go. And let me get my pot. Alright, spoon, and then you just take your apple pieces and you put them in your food mill. Now you don't have to use this, you can use you know, whatever you have. This is what I like to do. I think it makes a really nice consistency for applesauce, so I just like using this for my applesauce. It doesn't fit right over this pan, so it takes a little bit of doing. Now this press is pretty old, so it does make a lot of weird noises that newer ones do not. This was my grandma, she used it when I was younger, and now I use it to make my applesauce. Then you run it backwards a couple of turns to kind of get everything where it needs to be. And wearing gloves would probably be a good idea because you do splash yourself a little bit and it's pretty darn hot. Okay. It doesn't hardly take any time to get it all run through here once you kind of get a rhythm. And it helps if your processor fits on your bowl a little bit better, but that's okay. This is what I got, so this is what we're using. That's why it's nice to have your food processor fit on your bowl a little bit better, but that's okay. Alright, I'm going to finish this up and I will be back with you guys here in just a minute. Okay guys, so I've already got the sugar and the cinnamon. Both are optional. If you like yours just regular, by all means, keep it all natural. My kids like a little bit sweeter and they like it with the cinnamon. Now, I normally just go by taste, but if you guys have never made applesauce before, then this is 6 cups of sauce, of applesauce. I measured it out. And I did, and this is, to me, tasting it, ended up being 3/4 of a cup of sugar and 3/4 teaspoons of cinnamon. Now that's to my liking for 6 cups of actual sauce. So you may like it different. You may like it just with the cinnamon. It's really the great thing about applesauce is you can make it to your taste. So that's kind of the starting point if you want that reference. So now I am going to take this over here and we're going to jar it up and get it ready for processing. So I will see you guys here in just a minute. Okay, so I'm getting ready to jar it up here. And applesauce making is kind of an all-day process for the most part. I usually don't try to have anything else going on that day because it'll take most of your day up, and you don't want to end up going wrong somewhere and messing up your applesauce, because it's one of those things where you spent a lot of time and effort making it and you want it to be as good as possible. Now, if you're wondering why I'm using quart jars, my family likes applesauce, and I used to make it in pints when the kids were little, but now that they're bigger, the quarts are just the more economical way to go, because I spend all that time jarring up those little ones and I could be putting something else in them when I'm just going to need the quart jar anyway. So, anyway, alright, there you have it. I will get the air out of there here in just a second, but there it is. And 6 cups will make 2 jars. Okay, so I completely forgot to film the whole water bath canning part, but anyway, this stuff turned out really nice. I think it looks real nice, and it tastes really good. I ended up with 7 quarts yesterday, and I run those through the water bath, and when you do that, you want to make sure that the water is kind of over the tops of the lids, and then you bring it up to a full rolling boil, and then you start your time. Here it's 20 minutes, but you want to check, please check your ball canning book or whatever book you use for canning different things, because it can be different for different elevations and things like that. So that part you really need to check your ball canning book or another source that you trust. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you what they look like when they were all done, and they're just really pretty, I think. And I'm going to be working on more of this today, so because you've seen how many apples I have, and I'll let you know a final tally on how many quarts of applesauce. I think I'm going to go ahead and dehydrate some. I don't know. We'll see. The family didn't really express an interest in apple chips, so we'll see what I do. Anyway, you guys have a good day. Take care. Bye.